everybody, and welcome to my channel, Recovering Strong Black Women, where we talk about everything from health, wealth, empowerment, career, manifestation, and everything literally in between. And ultimately about living life on your own damn terms and according to your own rules. And on today's episode, what we're going to talk about is weight gain. Right? I feel like we need to have this conversation. I feel like we need to talk about the weight gain, loss, circle experience as women, as in a collective, right? Like, let's have this conversation. I will say for most of my life, I have pretty much, fluctuated between I don't know, between 5 and 10 pounds from like my goal weight. Like, so like in college, it would kind of go up and down. I was very active in college. I was a broke college student, so I was always on the move. So I didn't have much time to gain weight. And then once I graduated college, I went full speed ahead in work, and then it really take the time to prioritize my health, and then weight gain like that. Child. I mean, it happened overnight, I swear. And that kind of stayed its way, or I kind of maintained that weight gain for about a year or two. And then there was one year, me and my girls, we decided to do Weight Watchers, and the weight came off. And I would say from that point, I had a whole lot more success with my weight loss. In my mid to late 20s, it was pretty easy. I would stay relatively active. I try to be, somewhat conscious of what I was eating or drinking. And that kind of happened, and I was pretty stable. And however, all that stuff really changed though as I approached and really hit 30. And I think that's kind of where our conversation starts about just that experience of hitting 30, how your body kind of changes, and then just the life events along the way that kind of impact us that we're not really expecting. So I would say the biggest challenge in my adult life when it comes to weight loss or health and wealth really happened just a couple of years ago. So what's crazy is leading into this time, I was in amazing shape. Like, I look good, right? So my family, them jeans are strong, so we're gonna have some big breasts and some thick thighs. It just, all right, two-piece is coming west, right? It is what it is. However, on my dad's side, that's just pretty traditional. On my mom's side, they're very just, skinny. My mom is 60 something, looking snatched still without, much effort, right? Just looks amazing. And so I worked very hard to kind of get that body as I was probably 31 at this point. Had just moved to Atlanta and was really feeling and looking good. And a couple of months later, something really happened to take me off that path. And that was when my father passed unexpectedly. My dad just, I was actually on vacation with my boyfriend at the time, and got the news, and it devastated me, and did not see it coming, was not on the radar, did not have any, major health issues. Just, it really just kind of came out of left field. And in the months in time to follow, I did not realize how much I was internalizing, how much I was not grieving, and how much I was in survival mode, and how that really impacted my spirit and my body. And it was crazy. I mean, in a matter of months, I gained, 30 pounds, right? I don't know where it came from. It came so fast. It really felt like it happened overnight. And once I came into that place of just you step on a scale, you what the hell? Where these pounds come from? And you're dealing with grief, and you're dealing with these emotions, and all the internal thought, and the spiritual conflicts of losing a parent ahead of their time, or the head of what you feel like their time is. And so you're dealing with a lot, and you step on a scale, and you're oh no. And that's kind of really started my wellness path. And I will say it's really been a journey. In my 30s, honey, the weight does not come off like it does in your 20s. It does not. I swear, the process is completely different. I spent the last couple of years doing everything from SoulCycle and Orange Theory, I did a lot of different things. I could not eat in the same way and have the same results that I did in my 20s, right? It took a lot of effort, and it has been such a long process, and there's so many ups and downs that come with it. And I feel like a lot of people, it's a hard subject to talk about or for us to be honest about, because women, like, first of all, let's be real. Our bodies transform in a lot of different ways. As we continue to age, there are different factors that impact us. Our hormones, our body, our metabolism slows down. Everything kind of really is impacted, and we don't take a lot of time to pause and say, what do I need to do at this stage in my life, right? And it's a lot of like exploration that we're doing without any roadmap. Like, you're figuring it out on your own. And I focus so hard on trying to get this weight off. And when I say I would work my ass off and lose like 2 pounds, work it off, okay? Ass on the floor, done, tired, exhausted, drinking water, doing all this other stuff, and it did not come. And I tried so many different things, and what I think really kind of helped me to change the path that I had with my weight loss and my feeling of my body and my skin, and being honestly in a body that you're like, this is not mine. How are you here? Is just coming to a place of self-acceptance and changing how I treat myself at all shapes, forms, and sizes. I made a very intentional decision and say, listen, it doesn't matter if I'm this size, larger or smaller. This is the only body that I have. So I got to start treating her with respect and with some kind words, because what I've been telling her is not fair. Right? It's some tough stuff that I've been saying to myself to break myself down, and that is not conducive to what I want to happen with my body. I want to talk to people like that, but I'm talking to myself like that, and I had to fix that, because that just was not going to work. And so what I started to do, like towards the middle and end of last year, that really helped to transform me, was speaking affirmations. So I would make intentional time. Doesn't matter if I'm on the road traveling for work or in my apartment. I would wake up. The first thing I did was come into the mirror fully naked and say, you are still worthy, and admire my body. And it doesn't matter what size it was. I was giving myself permission to still be worthy of any and all things. Still worthy. I would literally just, be out there and just still worthy. I do it just still worthy, and smile. And I became a whole lot more softer and gentler, more gentle, more gentle with myself and how I talked about myself. And honestly, that's what changed the game. And a lot of times we think that, weight loss and all that stuff is just, environmental factors are obviously a part of it. And environment, not just like, we're not just talking about what you're eating, what you're consuming, what city you live in, and the quality of the air. This is what I mean by environment. What are you thinking about yourself? And if I'm manifesting all these other things, then clearly I can manifest the vessel that I want to be in and the experience that I want to be in. But I wasn't giving myself permission. I was set in a cycle of self-sabotage, self-hurt, blame, shame, whatever, just talking bad about myself and not giving myself permission to say, girl, you got this. Like, what you mean, girl? Still worthy. And that really kind of changed the game. And I really adjusted my approach from, I want to lose 30 pounds. Yeah, I want them to go. Like, listen, let's be clear. Like, I don't want them to stay around. But my approach to it just completely changed. So I went from, like I said, being very negative to being much more positive and saying, okay, this is what I got today. How do I practice gratitude here and now? Because that's what matters. I got to be present. And the present moment is, in this day and time, I am still worthy, no matter my shape, no matter my size. I am. And I got to affirm that for myself, and that was key for me. And once I did that, I took that same approach that I used to manifesting everything else in my life and took it to my wellness journey as well. And I handed that over. Like, I was like, whatever spiritual source you subscribe to, I'm dear universe, dear source, dear, dear God, help me with this. Help me with my wellness journey. Help me to manifest supreme moments. Help me to feel comfort in my body. Help me find the right thing to create the outcome that I need in my body. I did that religiously. Day after day, I would journal and be very clear in handing it over, because from my perspective, I had done it all. But at a certain point, you need assistance, right? What I was doing was no longer working. So I needed a higher power. I needed guidance. I needed to pull on the support and the resources of all the positive energy that is around me to help guide me on what I should do next. That's what I did. And through that journaling practice, I started to speak kind to myself. I started to eat better. I cut out I've never been a huge meat person. My mom was like the only black vegan on the block in Greensboro, North Carolina. But I've never been a huge meat person, but I drank more water. I was more conscious of the vitamins that I was consuming. I was more conscious of the things that I was watching. I unfollowed anyone on social media that gave me a feeling of lack or shame in my body or my shape, or that triggered that. And it wasn't about them, and it was about of how I was at that time. So I had to pull myself back. I had to get my consciousness together. And then just going through that process, also, I found an amazing trainer. And let me tell you, I had done a bunch of challenges. My girl Bree, she we were doing challenges all like last year in COVID, like trying to get ready, trying to get snatched. Like, we not about to be home and being extra mad. And so we did a bunch of challenges, but when I found my trainer, when I say this was divine, it was divine. It really was. I had done so many programs before that I didn't love. And when I found her, she offered a custom workout and meal plan. Now, many people say they're going to do custom workout and meal plans, but it's the same generic thing. She for real wanted to know what foods I like to eat, what I don't eat, what exercises that I do or don't. What am I looking to actually change in my body? And she legit created a plan special for me that would give me those results. And that was the first time I've ever had that. Like I said, a lot of these trainers out here is going to be click, copy and paste. And you're going to get the same thing as the next girl, and they're going to say it's custom and it's a duplicate. But for me, this was so life altering, because it was like, oh, like, she has meat on here like once a day. Like, okay, I don't eat meat a lot. Like, this is perfect. Like, she took into account the things that I like, and the foods that she was able to implement in the meals that she was able to do were just really easy. So if I was like home or I was traveling, I could do it. I could pack it up. I had my little bag of snacks or my almond butter, and it now, like a couple of months in, has just become a way of life. I'm just accustomed to it. This is how I do. And going through that process has just been a good full circle moment for me, of just reminding me how important it is that when we feel blocked and stuck in certain points of our life, sometimes we got to hit that wall to step back and realize we have so many more outlets and sources around us to kind of help guide us, and we ain't got to do it on our own. Like, ask God, ask source, ask the universe for guidance and information to move forward. And that's what I feel like happened to me. Now, if I showed y'all these before and after pictures, ooh, y'all better watch out. Summer 2021, okay? I'm dumbfounded. I am dumbfounded by the changes in my body from simply changing my mind, my perspective, and aligning myself with the guidance that was most important for me. Like, it's crazy. Like, I show my friends, they're like, wow, like, girl, look at your waist, look at your thighs, look at your stomach. Because those are things that they've seen me struggle. They see me going through all these different classes and working my butt off and like losing no weight. And it's just been the game changer. And ladies, I just want you guys to kind of take away of, one, weight loss doesn't have to be the goal. Wellness is the goal. My goal was that I want to feel amazing. I want to look and feel amazing at all shapes. I don't want my body to slow me down. I have intentions on being here for a very long time. I want to look as snatched as my mother at her age. And that is my goals. And that's exactly the life that I'm seeking to live. And I know to get that I have to be conscious about how I carry the weight on my body and carry the weight in my mind. But it's important that you guys know that no matter what weight you are still worthy. period. And if anybody around you can't see that, then they need to go ahead and dismiss themselves, because they are not for you. All right. And if they think that you're not worthy, and like, once again, like, they're not for you. And if people are around you and they're seeing that you're struggling and they're not encouraging you or giving you different outlets, you got to look at that support system too. Because my ride or dies held me down through all the ups and downs and the mental, fatigue that happens through this process. But I feel like weight loss is something that Black women, we are so hard on ourselves for. But what's so interesting is that many of us did not grow up with the tools or the resources to cultivate a lifestyle of wellness. We are just now learning in our 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s how to eat right, how to prioritize our own health, how to walk, how to do yoga, how to practice our breath, how to exercise. These are new skill sets for us that we are just now learning to cultivate. And you've got to give yourself permission to understand that, and don't feel bad on what you didn't learn. Okay, what are you picking up from here? Where are we gonna go from here? Because this is our starting point here and today. But I just want to encourage everyone to have those conversations with your friends, have it with yourself. How can you love on yourself no matter what size, and just encourage yourself around that perspective and understand, baby, you are loved. And you've got to feel that love from yourself to really help to create that outward love in your body and in all those other environments. But you're love, and you've got to be that. You got to see that. And once you do, I think the game will change. So I understand the journey. The journey is long. I'm still learning through it, but I think it's important that we have these conversations and know, like, sis, you are not alone. We're oftentimes going through the same stuff, and we are trapped in circles of trauma because we're not talking about it. Let's talk about it. Instead of just beating yourself up, find 2 or 3 girlfriends who want to work out with you. Instead of saying this won't work, okay, well, try it for 3 weeks, and if it doesn't work and you don't feel called to, then go to something else. Go into whatever feels natural to you, that it feels like there's a connection, because that's your stuff. That is your right stuff, and that is for you. So I hope you guys like this conversation and kind of this rabbit hole, but I think it was just a needed girl chat that we need to talk about our weight loss and our weight loss journey. But sis, you're not alone. I got you. Like, comment, and subscribe. More videos on the way. Love you guys. Bye.